Remember when grandfather's toolbox was a treasure chest and every visit meant learning to fix something? In the 1955, boys and girls gathered in garages as grandfathers taught them skills passed down through generations. Today, grandparents sit alone with tools nobody wants, knowledge nobody seeks, while grandchildren stare at screens and parents hire strangers for every repair. But that's not even the saddest part. Wait until you hear what dies when these toolboxes close forever. Saturday morning, 1955. The garage door creaked open, revealing grandfather's workshop, a cathedral of capability. Pegboards held tools outlined in pencil so everything had its place. The workbench, scarred by decades of projects, stood ready. The toolbox itself, heavy metal with drawers that slid on ball bearings, contained mysteries and possibilities. Grandchildren arrived early, eager to help with whatever needed fixing. There was always something. A broken chair, a squeaky door, a neighbor's lawnmower that wouldn't start. But the fixing was secondary to the teaching. Small hands learned to hold hammers properly. Young eyes watched weathered hands demonstrate the grain of wood, the threading of screws, the patience of proper measurement. "Measure twice, cut once," grandfather would say, the same words his grandfather had taught him. But these sessions taught more than carpentry. The lessons wove through projects like threads through fabric. While planning wood smooth, grandfather explained patience. While fixing a broken toy, he demonstrated that most things could be saved with effort and ingenuity. While sharpening chisels, he taught respect for tools and danger. Children learned problem solving by watching him study broken items, turning them over, understanding how they worked before attempting repair. They learned persistence when projects went wrong, resourcefulness when parts weren't available, satisfaction when something broken worked again. The toolbox itself told stories. This hammer built their house. That saw came from great-grandfather's farm. These pliers fixed fence during the Depression when new tools were impossible luxuries. Each tool carried history, memory, purpose. Girls weren't excluded. Grandfather taught daughters and granddaughters too, knowing everyone needed capability. They learned to unstick windows, repair screen doors, maintain sewing machines. Skills for life, not just for men. The workshop was community center. Neighbors brought broken things knowing grandfather could fix them or teach them how. Children watched transactions that involved no money, just shared knowledge, borrowed tools, returned favors. The workshop hosted impromptu lessons when several children gathered. Older kids taught younger ones while grandfather supervised. Knowledge cascaded through generations naturally. These children grew up unafraid of broken things. Cars, appliances, houses, all were puzzles to solve, not disasters requiring professionals. They saved money, yes, but more importantly, they maintained independence and confidence. By teenage years, grandfather's students could tune engines, build furniture, wire lamps. They earned money fixing neighbors' problems. They chose careers in trades, engineering, crafts. The toolbox's influence rippled through lives. Marriage meant setting up their own workshops, teaching their own children. The cycle continued unbroken. When things broke, they fixed them. When children wondered how things worked, they showed them. Then, the great disconnection began. Fast forward to today. Grandfather's toolbox sits in the garage untouched for years. He's offered to teach grandchildren countless times. The response is always the same. Too busy, not interested, would rather play video games. Parents don't encourage visits. Why learn to fix things when you can buy new? Why get dirty when you can stay clean? Why spend time with grandfather when there are activities, sports, screens demanding attention? When something breaks now, parents reach for phones, not toolboxes. Repair costs more than replacement. The dishwasher that grandfather would have fixed with a 50-cent part gets hauled away. New one delivered, installed by strangers, financed over months. The wooden chair that needed regluing? Thrown out. IKEA replacement assembled and discarded within 2 years. The lawnmower that needs spark plug? Abandoned for battery-powered model that can't be repaired at all. Modern life actively discourages repair. Manufacturers design products to fail and be unrepairable. Sealed units, proprietary screws, voided warranties if opened. Right-to-repair battles rage while grandfather remembers when everything was fixable. Parents fear lawsuits, injuries, mess. Don't let children use tools. Too dangerous. Don't teach them stoves. They might burn themselves. Don't show them repairs. Leave it to professionals. Wrap them in bubble wrap. Keep them safe and useless. Schools eliminated shop classes, budget cuts, liability fears, college prep focus. The workshops where students learned practical skills became computer labs. Hands that once held hammers now only swipe screens. Even when grandchildren show interest, obstacles multiply. Visits require scheduling around soccer, dance, tutoring, drive 30 minutes each way for maybe an hour together. Grandfather's arthritis makes teaching harder. His patience remains, but his body betrays him. The grandfather waits in his workshop. He maintains tools religiously, oils rust spots, sharpens blades, organizes drawers. Everything ready for students who never come. Sometimes he fixes things alone, muscle memory guiding hands through familiar motions. But joy fades without someone to teach. He watches YouTube videos of young people discovering life hacks that were common knowledge. Simple repairs treated as revelations. Basic maintenance presented as genius innovations. His knowledge, accumulated over 70 years, worth less than a teenager's TikTok about hanging pictures. The toolbox becomes burden, not treasure. Children will inherit it someday, sell it at estate sales. Collectors might value antique tools, but not the knowledge they represent, not the patience required to use them, not the stories they carry. Retirement communities don't allow workshops. Downsizing means choosing. Keep family photos or grandfather's tools. The tools lose. They're heavy, take space, serve no purpose in modern life. Into dumpsters go the implements that built America. The modern replacement is hollow. Parents hire TaskRabbit strangers to assemble furniture. YouTube University teaches badly what grandfather mastered. DIY culture celebrates incompetence. Pinterest fails get more likes than competence. Nobody knows their neighbors, so nobody borrows tools or knowledge. Everyone owns cheap tools they don't understand, can't maintain, rarely use. Cordless drills with dead batteries, socket sets missing half the pieces, screwdrivers used as pry bars. The relationship with tools vanishes. They're not extensions of capability, but reminders of inadequacy. Frustration replaces satisfaction. Hiring out becomes easier than learning. Young adults can't change tires, unclog drains, paint walls. Basic adulting becomes insurmountable without apps connecting them to gig workers. They pay hundreds for what grandfather did automatically. Financial dependence masquerades as convenience. What really dies with unused toolboxes? We lose self-reliance, the confidence that comes from fixing rather than discarding, the independence of maintaining rather than replacing. We lose problem-solving skills, the mental muscles that develop through physical challenges, the creative thinking that emerges from limited resources. We lose intergenerational connection, the bonding that happens over shared projects, the stories transmitted during sanding and sawing. We lose respect for physical objects. When everything is disposable, nothing has value. When repair is impossible, replacement becomes religion. We lose the satisfaction of completion, the pride in pointing to something and saying, "I made that," or "I fixed that." The deep pleasure of competence. Most profoundly, we lose wisdom transmission, not just how to use tools, but when. Not just techniques, but judgment. Not just skills, but values. The hidden costs multiply. Environmental destruction from discarded appliances, financial drain from constant replacement, psychological damage from learned helplessness, cultural loss from discontinued traditions. Mental health suffers. Men especially struggle without productive outlets. The workshop was therapy, meditation, purpose. Now they scroll phones like everyone else, hands that built becoming soft and useless. Grandfather's knowledge dies with him. Techniques perfected over generations vanish. The boy who would have become a craftsman becomes another office worker. The girl who would have been an engineer never discovers her calling. Communities lose fixers. The neighbor who could repair anything, the friend who'd help with projects, the elder who taught patience through practice, all extinct. We become consumers only, never creators. Some try preserving what's being lost. Makerspaces attempt recreating workshop community, but scheduled sessions in sterile environments can't match grandfather's garage. The organic teaching, natural timing, relationship depth, all missing. Grandfather volunteers at Habitat builds, senior centers, anywhere young people might learn. But insurance regulations, background checks, and disinterested youth discourage him. His knowledge feels worthless. A few grandchildren buck trends, seeking skills YouTube can't teach. They find grandfather eager, patient, overjoyed. But there are exceptions in generations assuming incapability. The toolbox opens for them like treasure chest it always was. They learn what their parents missed, that fixing things fixes more than things, that working with hands heals hearts, that grandfather's real gift isn't tools but time, attention, and faith in their capability. Here's what that 1955 toolbox really represented. It held more than tools. It held possibility, that broken things could be fixed, problems solved, value created from effort. It held continuity, skills passing through generations like heirlooms more valuable than money. It held community, neighbors helping neighbors, knowledge shared freely, capability assumed not exceptional. It held identity. I am someone who can fix things versus I am someone who buys things. Most importantly, it held relationship. Grandfather and grandchild, side by side, 4 hands on one project, 2 hearts beating in rhythm of meaningful work. Today's grandfather sits alone among silent tools, waiting for grandchildren too busy to learn what he's desperate to teach. The toolbox rusts not from use, but neglect. The knowledge fades not from age, but disinterest. And somewhere, a parent pays $200 for a simple repair, while grandfather, who could have taught it for free, dies a little more inside. The saddest sound isn't the workshop door that never opens. It's the knowledge dying silently, the wisdom expiring untransmitted, the grandfather who built America watching his legacy become landfill. His toolbox will outlast him, but what it represents is already gone. Unless someone, somewhere, puts down their phone and picks up a hammer before it's too late.